Hey guys, it's Arun from APB TV, and today we're going to be reviewing the iPad mini 1 in 2017. Okay guys, so this is the iPad mini first generation. It was originally released back in 2012 and it's got a very sleek looking design. It actually looks very similar to my iPad Air 2 over here, but do not let that fool you. This is a re-gutted iPad 2. Okay, so as with all of my other reviews, I've split up this iPad's capabilities into 4 separate categories: design, camera, games, and web. Kicking it off with design, this iPad has a 7.9-inch screen with a resolution of 1024 by 768 and a pixel density of 163 pixels per inch. It's got 512 megabytes of RAM and it's powered by 1 GHz Apple A5 processor, the exact same processor you will find in the iPad 2. The iPad has a 9-hour battery life and you can find it for around $170 to buy right now. It comes in 16, 32 and 64 gigabytes with cellular alternatives for all those models. The Apple A5 chip is only a dual chip, so when I ran Geekbench 3 on here, it scored 258 in the single core and 489 in the multi-core score. So already the chips are pretty weak and there's only 2 of them, so you're not going to get very high-end performance here. The startup time of this iPad was 43 seconds from cold, which isn't too bad. Now, taking a look at the camera, this iPad has a rear-facing camera capable of 1080p video at 30 frames per second. It's a 5 megapixel camera, so you're not going to be getting the greatest stills on here, but it is capable of video if you want to be that guy. The front-facing camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera capable of 720p video. I'm going to give you some examples of photos and videos with both of these cameras right now. Now before we get straight into games, I want to point out the fact that this is not a Retina screen on this iPad. So when you're watching movies or playing games, it's not going to look as good as it would if you're using an iPad 3 and up and iPad mini 2 and up. Retina display is just 4 times clearer, it's just much nicer to look at. As far as games go, I downloaded Mario Run, Cosmic Challenge, Hungry Shark and Bullet Force. So I started off with Mario Run and I must say I was really surprised. Maybe it's to do with the low resolution screen, but it actually ran perfectly well. It took a little long to get into the game, but once I was in, there's no problems as far as gameplay goes. Moving on to Cosmic Challenge, I took a bit longer to load this game, but again, once I was in, no problems, perfect gameplay. I must say though that it did look like the graphics had been dumbed down quite a bit in Cosmic Challenge. Hungry Shark unfortunately didn't actually load. It gave me this warning about how this game is unsupported and so I should download the older Hungry Shark. So this is something you're going to find more and more with this iPad. It's basically just being cut off the entire ecosystem. More and more games and more apps are not going to be supported on this device. And finally, Bullet Force. I tried something crazy. I set it on ultra settings and I tried playing it and it went in. It actually played on ultra settings and then it crashed. And from then on I could only get it into a game if I was playing on high settings with medium textures, which is still pretty amazing considering the graphic quality. It was quite laggy, so I would assume you should probably turn down the visuals even more. And lastly, we move on to web. YouTube worked fine on this iPad, but I did a comparison against my iPad Air 2 and you can see just how quick the iPad Air 2 is compared to this and how long it takes to load websites like the Apple website. And YouTube worked fine. I watched some of my own videos on there and it took a little bit long to load them and it was very laggy if you want to close a clip or even just scroll through the pages. So one thing to point out about this iPad is you'll be able to do most tasks on it, but it's going to be very laggy. Now as far as software goes, this iPad is maxed out on iOS 9. You're going to get like the basic bug fixes on iOS 9, but you're not going to be able to upgrade to iOS 10 or any of the new ones from now on. So finally we wrap up the review. Should you buy this iPad in 2017? You're going to be running basically everything you want. and it's going to have a decent camera, nothing amazing if you're going to be that guy. But I don't think it's worth the money, guys. It's slowly being cut off, and already I can tell most of the games that I'm using are either laggy, they take forever to start up, or they just don't run at all. So probably don't buy this iPad, not now, guys. Look at the iPad mini 2, it's 27 times more powerful than this iPad. It's got a retina display, a better camera, and a better processor. One thing this iPad could probably be is a bedside clock though. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.